he had a few nail-biting moments where I think they hit the post.
He's shocking. He just doesn't know how to defend. I want to see good football because I pay my money to see good football and I want to win the league.
Welcome to another week with my esteemed colleagues here. We've got Andrew, Justin and Lero with us. And today we are going to be talking about what our favourite or best signing ever for Tottenham Hotspur.
Don't start with me.
Don't start with you. Justin, you're giggling down there.
It's a tricky one when you got to think about what's your favourite, what's your best in regards to what, most successful, or best in business wise. I hate these questions. Sorry, Jim, but go on for ages.
All right, let me ask it another way. All the signings we've ever made, yeah, all them times. If you go back and re-sign just one of them, who would it be?
For me, as a kid growing up, Jurgen Klinsmann was like my favourite.
I should have gone first.
Klinsmann was like, he's Klinsmann, and he was like legendary, you know. So
my one as well. You've absolutely killed.
You two can have Klinsmann second time around then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know who else there was, you know. If you're looking at best for business, I think Gareth Bale's got to be up there for what we've done with him. You know, we got him in. Look at what we sold him for. You know, we've got him nurtured, got the best out of him. Sold him onto Real Madrid. He's been incredible for us.
Who then didn't play him?
Huh?
Who then didn't play him?
Yeah, that's mad.
That's
mad.
They did.
That's a whole nother show where we could just slate Madrid.
Yeah, I've just going slightly off topic, but I read earlier that Inter Milan are trying to sell Eriksen.
Yeah, no, banter. Don't want him back.
Get rid of him.
He can stay with me.
Yeah.
But
I'm gonna jump onto the back of what you were saying. I think for me, when me and my brother were going to watch Spurs, that signing made me believe that Tottenham were in the world of football. We were in the world of football, but we weren't in the world of football. When Klinsmann came to Spurs, it was magical. There was nothing more magical than watching him warm up and literally just being a cut above the rest. And he was old, but the first time, right, it was just like, wow, what is this kind of thing? And it just made me believe that Spurs are in the market, Spurs are in the hunt. We could do anything as Spurs. Whereas I didn't believe that before about Spurs. I thought we was, some mediocre club. Obviously, I knew about our past glories, but he definitely made me believe that Spurs we can sign Lionel Messi.
His cousin.
Yeah. His brother. Deli's brother.
Yeah.
No, on the back of that, bro, I mean, obviously you mentioned that signing there. The second one saved us from getting relegated, but the first one was so magical. It was a goosebump, pinch yourself moment. Jurgen Klinsmann, someone we all love to hate, bear in mind, being a German footballer, obviously being England fans growing up and seeing what he's done, won the World Cup for Germany, etc. But that type of signing, where we didn't really experience the Ozzy Ardiles, Ricky Villa signings when they happened off on the back of their World Cup run. But Jurgen coming through the door was magical, and that was probably the most iconic signing we've had in recent years. But we didn't win anything. And we didn't win anything with Gareth Bale either. So it's tricky. So my one, I'm going to go for. Go on, Justin.
No, go on. You go. There's a couple of others. I mean, you got to. I think Van der Vaart. He's got to be out there. It's a good signing.
That was another one similar to Jurgen, to be fair.
Yeah, because he done a lot for us.
Yeah,
he done a lot.
Did.
So, but please continue.
You know what my only thing with Van der Vaart was, and this ain't a dig at him at all. When he first come, the first 2 or 3 games, he was getting the ball. I saw him. He was flicking it off and going for the return, and he weren't getting it. And that was because he was that much ahead of everyone else.
Yeah.
They weren't doing it. And he had to regress his game to fit in with Tottenham, whereas Tottenham should have progressed their game to fit in with him. And that is my only negative about Van der Vaart, because he was a fabulous, fabulous footballer. And it's something that Edgar Davids said when he comes to Spurs. He used to apparently really drill the passes in at people, and they used to moan.
Yeah,
The pass gets there, your job is to control it. And it's, again, because he's played at that elite level, and that's the mentality. And
that's how you pass the ball. That is how you pass the ball.
I do think Spurs are growing into that mentality. I have done a lot of growing into that mentality. We're not that club that, we want to be there anymore. I think the players now are starting to believe, no, we should be there. And so it's now there's a different kind of pressure. But yeah, sorry. I went off on a tangent. Andy.
That's fine. That's fine. Now, to be fair, I was going to say Soldado, but I think you guys would rip me. So, no. Bale's a good one because, as Justin touched on, the 5 million to 85 million, he was transformative. He was a world-class player, a truly world-class player, and performed greatly for us in the years that he was there, carried us for a season. His last season, one of the best seasons ever for a Spurs player, and took us to the Champions League and ripped in the Champions League. But we didn't win anything. So I want to go with somebody who helped us win something, and we haven't won much. So my favourite player...
Alan Nielsen, yes!
Gary Mabbutt.
Not Mabs.
Say Pavlyuchenko, I'm leaving.
That's not Pav. No, there's two I could go for. I'm a big Ginola fan. But when you talk about magical, he was magical, but I think the fan base probably prefer Gascoigne. Now, Gascoigne, 2.5 million, I think was a record at the time, definitely a Spurs record at the time, came in, and he was magical from the day he came in to the day he ludicrously tackled Gary Charles and damaged his knee. But we won the FA Cup on the back of his run. And he was a laugh a minute, skill a minute, scored a goal against the enemy with his boot off with his own sock. And yeah, the guy was amazing. So for me, I'm going to go with that signing because it was at a time where we were going to football, Paxton every weekend or every other weekend, and we saw him in his height and peak.
What would Gaza be worth in today's money, in today's ludicrous world of money?
Whatever you like, mate. Whatever you like.
I'm gonna be honest with you lot, right? You said Klinsmann the first time for you guys. You've just said Gaza. I was born 89. Okay, so you guys are a couple of years older than me, and so for that reason,
you're being kind.
I missed a lot of. You've all got young faces. I'll be honest. I thought I was one of the older ones, but clearly not from the memory.
I wasn't the oldest here.
No, I was born 89, so. Yeah. I unfortunately the only clips I see of Lineker and Gaza and Klinsmann the first coming and our dealers and Villa, their highlights, Hoddle, their highlights. And what I have got is, I mean, my dad was born a long time before that, and he saw the 60 side, he saw the 70 side, he's seen it all. So when he sits there and he tells me things, and he says, "Oh no, you missed this," I can appreciate just how good a player was. So. You've touched on Bale, and I will say for me, Bale is one of the most magical players I have ever witnessed. And if I could have him back in a heartbeat, I absolutely would. I absolutely love the guy. My dad told me that when he used to watch Jimmy Greaves, whenever Jimmy Greaves got the ball, there was this tingle of electricity that went around the stadium because you expected something to happen. I never knew what he meant until I watched Bale. And every time, that season you mentioned and the season before, basically since that hat-trick where he ended Mycon's career, right? Yeah. Every time he got the ball, there was this anticipation. There was this, like on the underground, when you hear the train before you see it, you hear that little buzz along the train line. That electricity went around the stadium. You just expected something. And I've never witnessed something like that before. So for me, that was amazing. But the one that stands out, and this is purely a personal story here, Klinsmann the second coming. And I'll tell you why. My dad had always told me about Klinsmann. Jurgen the German, he was the diver. He had the famous dive, the celebration. Yeah. First ever goal I scored, I'd done that celebration even though I'd never witnessed it because my dad had spoke about him so much and I'd seen this. We suddenly signed him and Nicola Berti together and they come back. And it was them two come back and it was suddenly like I was this legend who didn't. It was like in my eyes, it was like me getting to watch Ali again, right. But I couldn't watch Ali or getting to watch the greatest Picasso paint or something, or Da Vinci make something. It was something that I thought I was never going to see in my life. This legend that had been and gone and all the rest of it. And there he was. He was there in front of me.
Yeah.
And I was outside Rudolph's, and I used to queue for autographs at my little book. And I'd chase him up and down the high road, something rotten. And Klinsmann was there. It was second or third home game or whatever. And they had all the barriers out, and we're all leaning over, please. And everyone said, right, get back. He's not stopping. And he stopped, and he pointed through the crowd, and he pointed at me. I swear, God's honest truth, this story.
No way.
He pointed at me.
No way.
I said, me and my mate were standing next to him. I said, he's pointing at me. And they went, no, he's not stopping. And he said something to the guard and pointed at me again. And I went, see, he wants me. And he waved to me like that. And so I jumped the barrier, and they went to grab me. And I said, he's calling me. So they said, go on then. I ran up to Jurgen Klinsmann, and he just sat there talking. If everyone's wanting his autograph, everyone. They've had to clear the street so we can just pull out the turning and down the road. And I said to him, I love you. I said, I just told him what I told you. I said, my dad told me about you. I've always wanted to see you. I said, please, can I get your autograph or something? I said, I've got no paper. I said, sign my hand. And he took a pen. He said, I can't sign your hand. As he's signing it, he said, your dad will tell me off. There's no way I'm not allowed to sign your. And he signed a picture on my hand. And then he got one of the Spurs monthly magazines. Nicola Berti was in the passenger seat, and he quickly pulled it out of his dashboard, and he signed it, and Jurgen Klinsmann signed it. And I'm planning the park, screaming, almost crying with enthusiasm. And my dad took a picture, and I will find that picture and prove it to you guys. But
please do.
That's brilliant.
That for me is what football is all about. That's probably the moment that solidified me as a Spurs fan when I really started buying into attention. And that is the magic of football right there.
Ready for the champagne, baby.